I had a plan for this week's video, but plans kind of changed because Ebony's health took a turn, and she passed away yesterday. And so following that, kind of wanted to do a video today and tell you the story about Ebs. That I don't know that pets always have a story, but Ebony had a story. She had lots of names. She had Ebony, Ebs, Skeezer, Ski. So the story behind that is she started as Ebony, and then, I don't know, out of the blue, Leslie started calling her Ebenezer Skeezer, and then it just went to Skeezer, and it just went to Ski. So she's been called by all of those names. We normally called her Ebs or Ski most of the time, and Ebony was reserved for like when she was in trouble. But after my first deployment to Iraq, I came home, and shortly after we got home, we found out that I would be deploying again to Iraq really quickly, quick turnaround. And Lauren was very young, and I didn't want Leslie to feel alone. I wanted her to have some type of a companion, other than the baby that she couldn't talk to yet, and didn't really have, anybody. We had just moved to Kansas, and she was in housing all by herself, and she was against the idea. Didn't want a dog or a cat or anything. And I was like, well, let's just go to the shelter and look. So we went to the shelter. We were looking for a cat, and Leslie had never had a cat before, but she was reluctant to the idea, but she was receptive also. So we went in, and Ebony, I think, was one of the first cats that we met, and she already had a name. She was brought in. She was found in a field with a litter of kittens, and she nursed those kittens until they were a weaning age, and all of her kittens were adopted. But she was still there. It's hard for a solid black cat to get adopted. It's just like a superstitious thing, or I want to say it was close to Halloween time frame, so we had to go through some like questionnaires to adopt a black cat, because I guess some people adopt black cats and do bad things. So we got she got through her litter of kittens, and they were all adopted out. They found a stray kitten that was not of weaning age yet, but this kitten was just out somewhere. So Ebony had just gotten done nursing her litter and getting them adopted out. So they put this kitten with her as like a Hail Mary to see if this kitten could survive, and Ebony nursed that kitten all the way through being a baby until it was weaned, and that kitten was adopted, and Ebony was still there. So Ebony was about a year old when we met her, and we heard her story, and we had to take her, and we've had her ever since. We took her everywhere, overseas, Germany, back, Oklahoma, Kansas, here in Alabama, Georgia. She's been all over the place. Traveled really great. Very personable cat. Always wanted to be around people. I think she thought she was a dog, because she would just hang out with you, sit on your lap. She had a dog type personality. Sometimes cats are like attitude and stuff, but Ebony was never like that. Even when we had like big groups of people over, she would want to be with the group. She wouldn't hide like normal cats would. She wanted to be out with people. She would love on people that she just met, let people pet her. And the coolest part was, like, Lauren tortured this cat with like pull her ears or tail or hair, and we had kids that would come over from time to time, friends, kids that would come over and lay on her, and I mean, she never batted a paw at anybody in anger. She would just either take it or she would just calmly walk away, and that's just the nature of Ebony. And she was just a great cat, and it was sad yesterday when we had to say goodbye to Ebony, and she will be loved and very missed. And you know, started this channel, you know, to share life experiences, share experiences with family, military family, CVMA family that have spread out across the country. We wanted to share some of our experiences, and just don't know that Facebook was personal enough, and I just wanted to be able to share things. Unfortunately, not all of our experiences are happy, and I wanted this channel to be real. I didn't want it to be just filtered to show the good times and the happy times. I wanted it to be real, and this was a real moment. Unfortunately, it's early on in the history of the channel, and hopefully there's more happy times to come. But in case anyone's curious, we are done having fur babies. No more cats or dogs for us. We do have Rocky still, but he will leave with Lauren when she goes off to college or moves out, or whatever the case may be. But she wanted to share the story of Ebony for all of you who have met Ebony and got to experience some of her life. You know how great of a cat she was, and how much she would be missed, and she was very loved, and we are going to miss her every day.